So let me take you to the class formally. That's the characteristics of the living things. So when we imagine life, as some of the students helped me to imagine, when we imagine living things, we imagine certain characteristics associated with the living things. They move from one place to another, they eat, they reproduce, they breathe, they can feel. All these things are associated with the living things. That is why they make them different than the non-living things. What I want you to imagine is that all the universe, or just think about the planet Earth, all the planet Earth are made of particles, certain types of atoms and molecules. Those atoms and molecules, when exist in a certain composition, developing a special type of balance between them, they exist as a living thing. When the same molecules and atoms lose that balance, or the composition, symmetry, or the association in a specific way, when they lost that beautiful, dynamics of coexistence in a particular way, they become dead. वो एक शायर का शेर है, आई डोंट नो, हम लोग शेर पढ़ने में और बोलने में बहुत अच्छे नहीं है, वो कि जिंदगी क्या है, अनासिर का ज़हूर तरतीब, the organization of elements, atoms and molecules in a particular way, that is life. But when the organization, balance, arrangement is gone, मौत क्या है, उन्हीं अनासिर का परेशान होना, when we just lost that arrangement. So the difference, there is no difference in terms of atoms and molecules present in me and present in the walls or in the wood or in the other things. So they are made up of elements and molecules. Myself is made up of atoms, elements and molecules. But the atoms and molecules present in me, which I am supposed to be a living being, the atoms and molecules which are present in me, they have a definite and specific interdependency with each other. I termed it as a balance. They exist in a very specific balance, specific arrangement. If that balance is gone, me with the same molecules, with the same elements will become dead. Now all those elements and molecules in the living things have a very special balance, which I termed as the arrangement and the balance. That balance, what we call as the life, that give living things certain characteristics which are not present in the living things. If you ask me now, for example, there is an iron in my blood, the answer is yes, the iron is present in my blood. That iron has the same melting and boiling point as compared to the iron present in my bed, or as compared to the iron present in the other metal materials. The iron is same. With all the chemical properties, they are exactly same. I have the carbon, the answer is yes. That carbon has the same properties as compared to any other carbon present in any other elements or in any other compound or in any other thing. But when the same carbon present in a living system, it exists in a particular composition, in a particular balance with other molecules, and that make that thing a living thing. But since when we see the living things, this balance or this coexistence of different elements in a particular way gives the living thing a certain characteristics that make them the living thing. And then when we study those living things, it is what we call as biology. So when people talk about what is biology, the most easiest way of defining biology is that we study life. But if you go further deep, we are studying life, we are actually studying the arrangement of those molecules in the living things. Because if the same molecules exist outside the living things, the same molecules can be considered as dead, because the molecules are same. But when the same molecules exist in a particular way, it is called as life. So the study of these arrangements is what we call as life. Let me make you a little, what I say, little more weird with my description about the life as well. The first characteristics of the life is that whether a thing is alive today or it was once alive. I mean, once alive. If something is alive at one time, long time ago, that thing is should also be considered as living thing. Although it will not going to we will not going to consider it a living thing today. The most important characteristics of life, which is not written here in the slides, but I should tell you that thing according to my understanding, since you choose to study from me. The most important characteristic of life is to avoid the death. That is very special and important. It is a little bit philosophical, but you will feel that thing. Life never ever want to lose that balance. Zindagi nahi chahti hai ki wo apna balance lose kare. That is why all the resources a living thing is carrying is diverted to keep that balance, or you can say to keep that thing alive. Try its best not to die. हम सारा जोर लगा देते हैं जिंदा रहने के लिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको छोटी सी एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. इमेजिन जब हमें बुखार होता है, जब कोई बैक्टीरिया हमारी बॉडी में आता है, and microorganisms like bacteria enters into our body. That microorganism or bacteria, when enters into our body, it tried to replicate itself. It tried to grow its number, and then started releasing certain bad things which is affecting our health, and that would be called as sickness. You can, like in viral infection, in bacterial infection. So our body, what our body was doing at that time, our body did a lot of things, and one of the things which we can feel is that our body increases the temperature of our body. हम अपने body का temperature बढ़ा देते हैं. It is called as fever. It is called as बुखार. By increasing the temperature of body, what we are doing, we are trying to fry, we are trying to make hell for those microorganisms. We are increasing the temperature to create like an oven, our body as an oven, so that microorganisms which are growing somewhere deep inside our body not able to reproduce very well. Although increasing temperature or having a fever is not good, because it will has its own consequences. But our life or our body choose to increase its temperature for one purpose, just to stop the growth of those microorganisms. लगता बुरा है कि यार ये बुखार चढ़ गया, कितनी बुरी बात है, but it actually helping us to do what? To keep the balance, because those microorganisms are disturbing the balance of molecules present within us. So we try to stop it. Something bad happens at somewhere, a vein, an artery is closing because of some chemicals, because of some trouble. If a blood pressure is disturbed in some part of the brain, this is not nice, this is not good, because the brain is not going to get enough blood to execute its normal jobs. हमें नहीं पता लगेगा. We already lost the war. But what happened? We started feeling headache. सर दर्द होना शुरू हो जाता है हमें. And that's an indication that something is not right at some other place. And it's a good question. Someone asked me, so that why when we take medicine like Panadol or other drugs, why it help? It's actually disturbing the body's temperature. So when we have a drug like a Panadol, it lowers or it balances the body's temperature. So I think the reason behind the question is that it might go against the law. The answer is, it's a calculated risk against the microorganism. For example, when a microorganism enters into our body, it tries to divide. There is a battle. our body versus microorganism. If the microorganisms win, I mean it divides faster, then the things we are doing against it, we got sick. So like the two things are, the battle is going on. Traditionally, our body is able to deal with the microorganism without any external trouble. And keeping and raising the temperature is one way. The drugs and molecules, जो दवाइयाँ हम खाते हैं, they are an alternating source of assisting the battle. वो एक अलग से जरिया है हमारी मदद करने का to support that battle from our own side. Like we are supposed to create weapons to fight against the microorganism. That's the natural. But like if we are failing, if we are losing the battle, we take the drug. What that means? We are borrowing. We are getting external supplies. We are getting external weapons. We are getting external things to do what? To win the fight against the microorganism. So that actually helps us to deal with the trouble. आपने सुना होगा बहुत सारे लोग ये मानते हैं कि आपको दवाई नहीं खानी चाहिए, you will be all fine. Those are the people who believe on their, who want you to believe on your immune system, because sooner or later your immune system will going to fix that microorganism. So if you wait like 1 or 2 days, of course you will be able to deal with that microorganisms comfortably. Okay? But like मेरे सर में बहुत दर्द हो रहा है, I don't like it, मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे ठीक होना है, then you can get assistance and try to fix yourself sooner. और इसमें एक रिस्क भी है, if the microorganism is a one which we don't know how to fight, and if we get late, the microorganism will divide and we might not be able to curb it, we might not be able to deal with it later on. So the drugs are weapons which we borrow from outside to fight against the microorganism. Okay? There exist 7 typical characteristics of the living things. Most of these characteristics you know. I have another question. Let me answer that. Even though cells are living things, does the not wanting to die wala principle apply to cells, since they are supposed to die, so we don't, and if they don't die, we might die because of cancer. Every living thing do not want to die. That's something which I told you earlier. That's a fundamental characteristics of the living thing. But not everything we want, we usually get, you know. We want a lot of things. I want a lot of things to do, and I never be able to get all of them. I able to get some of them. Similarly, the life wants to stay alive. ऐसा कब होगा? ऐसा कब होगा कि जिंदगी जिंदा रहेगी हमेशा? ऐसा तब होगा when a living system is able to sustain its balance between the molecules. So a living system is able to sustain its balance between the living system, living molecules. In that case, the living system will stay alive forever. And I can tell you, this is the ultimate wish of every living thing. इसको पता क्या कहते हैं दूसरी जुबान में? Immortality. Every life form wants immortality. Cells are also supposed to die after some time. That is why we are supposed to die, because we are made up of cells. लेकिन cells मरते क्यों हैं? मतलब why death होती क्यों है? Imagine it is like a machine you purchase, or like a bicycle, or like a motorbike, like a computer, like a laptop, like a cell phone. Cell phone is a so if you purchase a bicycle is a better example. If you purchase a bicycle today, how long you will going to use that bicycle? How long you will going to use that bicycle? It depends the way you will going to use that bicycle. It depends how well you will going to take care about that bicycle. आप कितना अच्छे से इस्तेमाल करते हैं, कितना इस्तेमाल करते हैं, because the natural wear and tear of the parts of the bicycle will going to disrupt the function of the bicycle sooner or later. If you are like you, a very good one, a very good guy, I mean, आप अगर बहुत अच्छे, शाबाश, वाजिद बिल्कुल सही कहा, how we care, how we use, शाबाश, exactly. So if we use that thing, like similarly, our body is a machine. How long we will be able to use the same body? It depends how well we use that body, how well we care about the material present in our body. The same bike can be used for 20 years by one person, and the same bike might not be, some other person, a careless guy, might not be able to use the same bike like for more than few months. If you use the same thing, don't care about the things and do not use it well. So when we use the chemical composition, which I said, when we take care about our living system, when we take care about the things which are required to keep the balance, when we take care about the chemicals, molecules, and the system, we can carry the same life, the same body for a longer period of time. इसका आसान जवाब ये है, the people who used to care about their life more than us, अगर आप compare करें, the average life of South Korean and Japan, the people from Japan and South Korea is 100 years. 60 साल में तो वो सोचते हैं जिंदगी के बारे में, जीना क्या, हमें क्या क्या करना है. Now we are a little bit free. They don't have any idea in their mind that they will going to die before 100 years. हमारे यहाँ तो हम कहते हैं ना, ये बोनस है, अब आपकी उम्र इतनी होगी, अल्लाह ताला से दुआ ही करें सुबह उठ के कि आपको सुबह 50-60 साल के बाद. The reason why they able to take the same body for 100 years and we are not, in Pakistan the average life is between 60 to 70. The difference is because we are not taking care of the same living composition better. In an ideal situation, if we give our body the perfect things and we take care about our body perfectly, we might be able to use the same body for maybe 100 years or for maybe 200 years or maybe more than that. So that's what we are doing. अच्छा, अब आप imagine करें, आप सारी scientific development को imagine करें over the last few hundred years. You will amazed to imagine that everything which we were doing in the last few, जब से humans और intelligence develop हुई है, हम सिर्फ एक ही काम कर रहे हैं. We are developing science for one purpose. We are growing for one purpose. We are growing vegetables for one purpose. We are growing life sciences, computer sciences, and everything, whatever we are doing is for one purpose. देखना आप क्या करते, आप क्यों करते हैं. कंप्यूटर साइंस के लोग नए नए फॉर वन पर्पस, साइकोलॉजी के लोग नए नए प्रिंसिपल्स डिस्कवर करते हैं फॉर वन पर्पस, एंड दैट वन पर्पस इज टू इंक्रीज द लाइफ स्पैन. दैट वन पर्पस is to live forever, and that one purpose is to survive forever, which we call as immortality. जब मूवीज में ये कॉन्सेप्ट आता है ना, इमोर्टैलिटी कॉन्सेप्ट, लिविंग फॉरएवर का, तो ये बेसिक ह्यूमन इंस्टिंक्ट, लाइफ की इंस्टिंक्ट है. लाइफ नहीं चाहती कि वो मरे. तो अब आप इमेजिन करें, एक आदमी जो लेबोरेटरी में रिसर्च कर रहा है, ही इज ट्राइंग टू सर्च about the pathogens and about the microorganisms, वो बीमारियों को दरियाफ्त कर रहा है. What that person is doing, indirectly he is working for the greater cause. And what is the greater cause? That humans should live forever. The person who is trying to develop a software for artificial intelligence or something else in his computer lab, that guy is working for what purpose? That guy is working for the same purpose, either to increase the human life. हम लाइफ स्पैन को 100 years तक ले गए हैं. We wanted to extend further to like 200 years and then so on. Okay, so before I conclude this session, अभी थोड़ा time है, let me go through the features, and most of the features you know. The first, the living things, they require to feed. They require to feed, but that is easy to understand. They require to get nutrients from outside. You should know. You should be able to think why they are required to be fed. ये आपने सोचना है. पहली बात आसान है, living things are required to be fed. उनको external sources से molecules चाहिए, food चाहिए. लेकिन ऐसा वो क्यों करेंगे? Anybody? उनको क्यों चाहिए होते हैं nutrients बाहर से? Because they need energy to execute the chemical reactions which are responsible for the balance. Those chemical reactions which are going on within the living organism are called as metabolism. मेरी बॉडी में जितने भी केमिकल रिएक्शन हो रहे हैं, बैक्टीरिया की बॉडी में जितने केमिकल रिएक्शन हो रहे हैं, प्लांट्स की बॉडी में जितने केमिकल रिएक्शंस हो रहे हैं, all those chemical reactions are called as metabolism. Those chemical reactions required molecules and energy. And we need that energy. And in order to get that energy, either there are two ways. Very important definition I'm going to tell you. There are two ways to get that energy. भूलना नहीं है. Number one is to prepare that energy by yourself. पहला तरीका, खुद ही बना लो एनर्जी. प्लांट्स करते हैं ऐसा. Plants prepare their own food. They prepare their own energy sources. पहली बात, एनर्जी खुद ही बना लो. Those organisms which can prepare their energy, which can prepare their food by themselves, they are called as autotrophs. Autotrophs का मतलब होता है ऐसे organisms जो अपनी food खुद से बना सकते हैं. And the other one, the second way, if you can't make your own food, you should or you have to get that same molecules and energy from the other organisms. जैसे कि humans, हमें अपनी food दूसरों से हासिल करनी पड़ेगी, दूसरे living system से हासिल करनी पड़ेगी, other plants and animals से हासिल करना पड़ेगी. And such organisms which are dependent for their food on the other organisms, they are called as heterotroph. एक बड़ी common question आती है आमतौर पर, autotroph, heterotroph. Those who can prepare their own food like plants, autotroph. Those who cannot prepare their own food, they are dependent for their food on the other organisms, they are called as heterotroph. Okay. The second thing, the second property that they have movement. Anybody, why the living things should move? वो move करते हैं, living things move करते हैं, हम imagine करते हैं, लेकिन तो move करना क्यों जरूरी है? There are two important reasons for that. Anybody can throw me any point. Living things move क्यों करते हैं? Why they like to? Why they have? हम क्यों देखते हैं उनको कि वो move करते हैं? To consume energy. Okay. Anybody else? There are two reasons that the movement is required by the living organisms. Number one, they need to get food, and the movement allow them to change their place to get the food. If the food is not there at that place, they can move to the other places to get the food, or for their energy, of course. The second reason is that to avoid shabash, the sake of survival. That's good. The second thing is that they might be caught at that place, and they can run away, they can go away, they can go far away from the threat or from the predators. So the first thing, to get the food easily, and the second, to go away from the predators. And that allows the living things to so that they can survive for a longer period of time. So the movement is that. And of course, the movement allows other things as well, because they can move from one environment to another environment. यहाँ का माहौल अच्छा नहीं है, यहाँ water नहीं है, यहाँ पर resources नहीं है, the organisms can move from that place to the place where these resources are present in abundance. Next, respiration, सांस लेते हैं. They breathe. You know why they breathe? सांस लेना, breathing. Because they need to draw oxygen and they expel carbon dioxide gas from themselves. And they breathe for the purpose to stay alive, of course. But they breathe means they are exchanging gases between the environment. They are taking oxygen and they are releasing carbon dioxide gas. And somewhere deep inside our cells, that oxygen is consumed to produce energy. And that chemical reaction produces carbon dioxide gas. So whatever the oxygen we are taking in is consumed to produce energy. And during that chemical reaction, a carbon dioxide gas is produced. And that carbon dioxide gas is then expelled outside our body. So the respiration is for the purpose or the exchange of gases, so that we can help the very famous metabolic chemical reaction to produce energy within our body. That's why we are dependent on the gases present in the environment. We are dependent on those gases in a different way. and the plants are dependent on these gases in a different way. But to produce energy, we utilize oxygen. The plants utilize the oxygen as well. We produce carbon dioxide gas, the plants produce carbon dioxide gas. The respiration process is same in every living thing. The next is the excretion. Excretion means release of the waste product. When a certain chemical reaction, metabolic chemical reaction going on within our body, अगर हमारी body में बहुत सारे chemical reactions हो रहे होंगे, metabolism हो रहा होगा, living thing में, they produce good things, they produce something which they don't need. They have good things which we need to use in our body, and the things which are not required. These are called as byproducts. So when a certain metabolic chemical reaction is going on within our body, the byproducts are accumulated within the living system. These byproducts are required to be removed from the body, and this is called as excretion. Sometimes the biology students confuses the excretion with the egestion. Egestion is the removal of undigested food from the body. When we eat something, we consume that food within our digestive system. We take all the good things out of the food, and then whatever left, we release it from our body. That is called as egestion, removal of undigested food. This is not excretion. Excretion is what? Excretion is that there are a lot of chemical reactions going on within the living system, and certain unwanted products are produced, and those unwanted products are then required to be removed from the blood. It is collected and filtered by the kidneys, and then it is released in the form of urine. This is called as excretion, removal of unwanted waste products. And then growth, very famous. Every living thing, if you observe, they grow. They increase their number of cells, means they increase their size. And the living things are also sensitive. They can sense the changes in the environment. They can sense the changes in the environment. And of course, they reproduce. It's very important. I want to talk on this thing. They produce offsprings. It's not about, the living thing is not about doing all the things, breathing, taking the food, moving from one place to another, doing excretion and having a growth. It's about producing an offspring as well. If a system is not able to produce offspring, that system is not living as well. आप मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं, ये मैंने एक टॉक में YouTube में मेरा एक वीडियो है, उसमें मैंने इस पे बात की थी. You might like that idea. It's not an idea, actually, it's a good thought to understand. You know, evolution, when created life, the life is changes its dynamics and forms from simpler ones to complicated ones and then more complicated ones. Evolution जो है, it gives us characteristics to fight against all odds. It gives us ability to survive in a newer environment. Evolution allows us to fight, strive, and live whenever there is a trouble out there. और हमने ये किया है, जिंदगी ने ये किया है, हमने से मुराद जिंदगी ने, लाइफ ने किया है. But evolution never able to fight against one important factor. Evolution never able to fight against one very critical factor. You know what that factor is? Evolution जीत गई है. अगर पानी नहीं था तो जिंदगी ने सीख लिया पानी के बगैर कैसे रहना. शाबाश सलमान. अगर कुछ चीजें कम थी, फूड कम थी, तो एवोल्यूशन की मदद से हमने सीख लिया कि कम फूड में कैसे जिंदा रहना है. But evolution have failed to find a solution of death. Sooner or later, every living thing will going to be dead. अब एवोल्यूशन से जो हमने इंफॉर्मेशन हासिल की है, whatever the life will become, जिंदगी इंप्रूव करते करते यहाँ पहुंच गई, and then death finish. The life will have to evolve once again. Death finish. The life will have to evolve once again. और ये साइकिल कभी खत्म नहीं होता. तो एवोल्यूशन को पता था it's not pata tha. I mean, the evolution failed to find answer about the death. So they designed an alternative way to live larger than life. And that alternative way is called as reproduction. I will die sooner or later, but my boy, I will live in my boy or in my daughter. The genetic material, whatever the genetic material I am carrying, it will be finished sooner or later, but I will pass on that information to my kids. So life is not about having all these properties. Life is also, it also means to transfer the information I am carrying to the next generation. That's why reproduction is an answer. What is an answer to the death? Reproduction is the answer of develop or evolve by the evolution to answer the death, that I fail to live forever. How about passing on? How about transferring the information to the next generation? So all these properties will be there. We will go through them a little bit further, and then we will conclude our class after the next session. And when we try to test about a certain stuff, that whether it is a living or not, we ask certain questions to ourselves. Can it move? Or we ask ourselves that can it grow? Can it increase its size and its number? We can ask whether it is breathing or not. I will explain the breathing in detail. I mean, breathing is like taking in gases or expelling the gases out. This is not all, but this is something which we believe about breathing for the time being. We can ask that whether it reacts to the environment. That's very important. Very, very important about the living thing. Living things are living in a certain environment. They need to sense the changes out there, whether the temperature is increasing, whether the temperature is decreasing, whether there is enough water, whether it is scary, whether it is a trouble. They need to sense the changes in the environment and they need to react on it. Sometimes, I mean, there are a lot of things we can sense. You know, what are those things which we can sense? We can sense the change in temperature. We can sense the touch. We can sense the smell. We can see the things. We can hear the things. And all these things actually help us to communicate with the non-living things. All these things help us to communicate with the environment. And the agenda and purpose of all those senses is what? Is one. Is to help us to live. और मजे की बात, there are certain other things which we don't even believe we develop, but they are helping us to survive. For example, मजे की बात, for example, fear. नेगेटिव चीज है ना, हम इसको नेगेटिव पर्सपेक्टिव में इमेजिन करते हैं, but the fear is actually a survival instinct which we have developed over the period of millions of years. हमने इसको सीखा है क्योंकि evolution ये समझती है that fear is a very critical important survival instinct. Imagine हम रुक जाते हैं, इससे आगे नहीं जाना, इससे आगे खतरा है, हम एक पहाड़ के ऊपर चल रहे होते हैं ना, this is not I should go, this is इससे आगे इससे ज़्यादा स्पीड करना dangerous है. So all those fears are helping us to survive so that it can preserve our lives. And then we can ask, does it reproduce? So all these questions, if have an answer in yes, then we can assume that that thing is a living thing. So the non-living tests are very simple. Sometimes the non-living things do have or do carry certain properties like living things, but they don't carry all the properties. My aeroplane is moving from one place to another. The aeroplane is not living. Sometimes like they do, I mean, grow as well, but they are not living. So we need to think in totality about the living things. Some things are moving, and the things which are once living long time ago and are not living today, they are dead as well. They are not living anymore. The dead bodies of every human is a non-living. It's like any other matter. It's like any other non-living chemicals, molecules, or elements. And imagine whatever the molecules we are carrying in our body right now, today, were once part of the non-living system. ये एक वक्त में जमीन के किसी चीज का हिस्सा थे, किसी मैटर का, किसी चट्टान का, किसी पत्थर का, किसी पानी का. किसी plant का was, and then eventually it is accumulated within us and it become living. So that non-living matter in somewhere else, when enter into our body, it become part of the living system. It becomes living, and the thing which make it living is the organization, is the arrangement, and the term which I called as the balance between the molecules that make it living. The most important thing about the living system, they have the cells. They are small, little compartments, units. They're called as the cells. All living things are made up of cells. And actually, the cells are the structural and functional properties of the living things. You need to remember that statement for some period of time. It is very critical. The cells, they are the structural as well as the functional unit of the living things. When I said the structural units of the living things, that means all the living things are made up of cells. When I said the functional unit of the living things, that means we breathe because the cells breathe. We eat, we get the food because the cells are required to be fed. We excrete materials because the cells excrete materials. So whatever the functions the cells are executing at a cellular level, we are executing the same things at an organism level. Every cell has a different components, different parts performing different functions. They do all the same things. They do take the food. They do excrete the waste material. They do produce energy. They do communicate with each other. And they follow the inheritance. They produce the new cells and they move as well. And then the homeostasis. That term is a little bit scary, but it's very easy. Homeostasis it means how to keep the balance of the fundamental variables of life. जिंदगी के जो बुनियादी variables हैं, the fundamental variables of life, how to maintain the balance of those variables. What are the most fundamental variables of life? Number one, temperature. Temperature को कैसे maintain रखना? Imagine our temperature is 37 degrees centigrade. We spend hell of energy in order to keep that temperature at 37 degrees centigrade. हम ना इसको नीचे जाने देते हैं, ना हम इसको ऊपर जाने देते हैं. For example, अल्लाह ना करे, if some of us, if a human is trapped in a colder environment, अगर एक इंसान किसी ठंडी जगह पे ट्रैप हो जाए, एक्सपोज हो जाए, बर्फ में बाहर कहीं पर रहा है सर, उसकी body, the person's body tries its best to keep the internal body temperature at 37 degrees centigrade. You know, by doing what? वो क्या करती है? The body stops the flow of blood to the skin. Body blood flow skin को रोक देती है. And that ended up in the blue color of the skin at that time. होंठ नीले हो जाते हैं, skin का color जो है वो red नहीं रहता, it becomes bluish, because the body tries to block the temperature, try to preserve the temperature at that time by blocking the blood supply to the skin. और क्या करती है body? The body tries to make the muscles to shiver. Body muscles को instruction देती है कि वो कांपना शुरू कर दें. कांपना means muscles will move. When they will move, they metabolize, they produce energy, they produce heat, and it helps the body temperature at that time. Similarly, if a person is trapped in a warmer temperature, गर्मी वाले हालत में कहीं पर ट्रैप हो जाए या वहां पर उसको वो एक्सपोज हो जाए, the person's body tries its best. क्या करती है ताकि maintain the body temperature at 37 degrees centigrade. For example, outside temperature is 44, your body temperature is 37, so naturally the heat should flow from outside to your body. But ऐसा नहीं होता है, because your body is trying to maintain the balance. That is homeostasis. Your body tries to sweat at that time. Sweating results in evaporation, and evaporation causes cooling. So your body temperature stays at 37 degrees centigrade. Similarly, homeostasis is not about maintaining the temperature. It's also about maintaining the other important ingredients like water and electrolytes. Our body tries its best to maintain the water level within our body. If you have a lot of water, you excrete a lot of water. If you don't have enough water in your body, you excrete, you urinate less. and try to preserve the level of water within your body. So all these things are wonderful in order to maintain the life for a longer period of time. And when you see the living things, they are of two big categories, the unicellular and the multicellular. The unicellular are the living things which are made up of one cell only. Multicellular are the living things which are made up of so many cells. Whatever the life form you can see, all of that life form is multicellular, means it is made up of lots of cells, like plants and animals and other animals, whatever the life form you can see. And there exists another world of living organisms which we can't see because they're very small. Either they are made up of one cell or few cells. That one cell or few cells organisms like bacteria and virus and other microorganisms, the one cell or few cell organisms, they exist out there, but we can't see them. They're also actually it's a whole new world which we can't see exist out there, and it's called as unicellular life or unicellular organisms. And especially, particularly, people refer them and group them into one group. Do not worry about that name at this time. They're called as protists. Protists is from the class called from the kingdom called Protista. Protists are like unicellular organisms, the living forms which are made up of one cell only, like bacteria. And then most of the other organisms which we can see, they are multicellular. This is important. This is critical slide, which will you should carry this thing in your mind for a longer period of time. This is very important. It's about the cells. That what type of cells exist in the living system. There are two types of cells exist in the living system. The one is called as prokaryotes. They are primitive. When I said primitive, it means they appear earlier during the evolution. They appear earlier. They are called as prokaryotes. Prokaryotes. They appear earlier in the living system. Since they appear earlier, that's why they are simpler, and they are much more simpler as compared to the other form. I have a question. That means fungus is unicellular. Fungus mostly are multicellular. Okay, but some forms of fungus is unicellular. Mostly, generally, they are multicellular organisms. So there are two types of cells. The one are the prokaryotes. The other is eukaryote. Prokaryote are simpler ones. They evolve earlier. They are simpler. Eukaryotic cells or eukaryotes. Eukaryotes means the organisms which are made up of eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are complicated cells. They have complex structures. Logically, now you can assume if an organism is prokaryote, it is made up of prokaryotic cells, the organism will be simpler. If an organism is made up of eukaryotic cells, that organism will be complex or bigger. You can differentiate between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells in many ways, and we will study these things in detail as well in the future. But right now, you just need to remember that the prokaryote or prokaryotic cells are comparatively very simpler. They don't have a defined nucleus. उनके पास cell का defined nucleus नहीं होता. They don't have a boundary, a compartment-like nucleus. Their genetic material is spread within the cells. But in case of eukaryotic cells, they have a very defined, you can see, they have a very defined, well-defined nucleus which contains the genetic material. The DNA is present within this thing. This is called as nucleus. So आज की date के लिए, if somebody asks you what is the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, you should answer the prokaryotic cells do not carry nucleus. They are simpler. They evolve earlier. They are primitive. Eukaryotic cells, they are advanced cells, complex structures, and they carry the nucleus, a definite compartment to keep the genetic material. Okay. The living things, they have a wonderful property of sensing the change, whatever the changes they are experiencing, they can sense it with the help of the sense organs, which can affect them, which can threat them, They can sense those changes and they can respond to those non-living things. Light, they can respond to light. They can respond to sound. Gravity, pressure, hunger. किसी के पास कोई और सेंस है जिसके ऊपर ये रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं? I want to hear from you. Living things can respond to the external changes. लाइट चेंज को महसूस कर सकते हैं, साउंड को फील कर सकते हैं, ग्रेविटी, प्रेशर, हंगर, टेम्परेचर, शाबाश, क्लाइमेट, ओके, शाबाश। एक और बड़ी मजे की है, वो आजकल बड़ा इन है, वो टॉपिक बड़ा इन है आजकल, इंट्यूशन, शाबाश इकरा, इंट्यूशंस। इंट्यूशंस इज वो गेस करते हैं यार ये हालात ठीक है कि नहीं ठीक है, इंट्यूशंस, आज कुछ गड़बड़ होएगी कि नहीं होएगी, हैं? There is something going to happen with us today. वो जैसे अब्बा जी घर में आते हैं ना, आज मूड खराब है, आज कुछ किसी ना किसी को डांट पड़ेगी, जो मर्जी कर लो। Fear, शाबाश दिशान, very good. Something we can sense, oh कुछ गड़बड़ है यार, it's not nice. हमें उसके मुताबिक accordingly we change our plan, we change our way of communication, and we change ourselves to survive in that time. एक बहुत famous term है आजकल, बहुत इस्तेमाल होती है, and that is the stress. You know, we receive panic as well, we receive stress, and it's like a non-living thing. It's outside, and but we can receive it and then we can respond to it. Deep thinking, Ramar ne kaha, okay. So living things respond to the environment in different ways. हम कभी आमतौर पर प्लांट्स के बारे में ये एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते कि प्लांट्स एनवायरनमेंट को इतनी जल्दी रिएक्ट करते हैं. प्लांट्स टुक लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द एनवायरनमेंट. मसलन प्लांट्स लाइट को रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं वेरी स्लोली, ग्रेविटी को रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं वेरी स्लोली, बट दे डू नॉट मूव लाइक अस. जैसे हमें डर पड़ता, जैसे वो जो क्रिकेटर कैच करता है, दे आर रेडी, बॉल इज देयर, दे कैन कैच, दे कैन रिस्पॉन्ड एनी टाइम. We used to respond with each other very quickly. Plants are not supposed to respond in this way, but of course they do. Like ये एक बहुत famous plant है which can trap the fly. It can trap the fly as well, like this. If the fly is there, it just closes its mouth like this. अच्छा, ये लोग पूछते हैं ये plants ये खाते क्यों हैं छोटे जानवरों को, insects को at that time. Although the plants can produce their own food.
एक पौधा है जो कि मक्खी खा जाता है.
हाँ, मक्खी खा जाता है, बिल्कुल सही. But the point is that why plants needs to have that thing, because the plants can prepare their own food. वो अपनी खुराक खुद बना सकते हैं ना. Why they have to? They can make their own food, but if they trap or manage to get any insect within their clutches like this, उससे क्या होएगा? They will get additional nutrients. वो इसको absorb कर लेते हैं slowly, and that help them to grow in a better way. तो plants भी कहते हैं. ये बड़ा famous पौधा आपने देखा होगा, mimosa. इसको उर्दू में कहते हैं छुई मुई का पौधा. Do you know? If you touch that plant, it started wilting. It is an example from the plant side that they can respond to the changes out there. Of course, we know the animals can respond in a much better way. And then the plant shoots, they actually grow towards light. If you design an experiment by growing plants in this way, by putting the light in the center, the shoots of the plant, they grow towards the light. So they do respond. Sweating, I explained to you. This is an example. This thing is like your skin. Your skin has lots of cells present in a definite way. हम इसको पढ़ेंगे अगर हमारा आगे जाकर. The skin tissue contains many important cells. One of them, the most famous of them, is actually the sweat gland cells. This is the sweat gland present within the skin. When temperature of our body increases, the sweat gland cells produce water, and that water came to our surface. आजकल तो बहुत ज़्यादा है इस तरह का माहौल. And when this water evaporates, जब ये water evaporate करता है, it converted into the gas, it causes cooling and help our body to maintain our temperature. It's a very complicated process, and it's very important for our survival as well. And of course, I told you how to live larger than life is to reproduce. All these things are actually guiding us, helping us to do what? To find the best possible partner, eventually to raise a perfect offspring better than us. आप हैरान होंगे सुन के. I don't know, I don't want to hit the social sciences areas, but what we are studying, why we are studying? We are studying, we are trying to get knowledge, we are trying to raise ourselves, we are trying to grow ourselves, we're trying to earn money, we're trying to establish ourselves for one purpose. आप हैरान होंगे, for one purpose, to give a better offspring than me. A better person will be able to get a better job, will be able to get a better partner, will be able to get a better offspring. So zindagi hame indirectly, evolution is actually driving us indirectly to raise a better and a perfect offspring. That's life. I told you earlier, zindagi is not about living, it's about transferring whatever you have, like your genetical information, in a better way. So a certain genetical information you are having, a better genetical information your partner is carrying, together you will going to create a better human in the future. Okay, growth and development is another important thing. I mean, every cell, for example, this is a bacteria. Don't worry, we will see that this is one bacteria. The one bacteria will go, replicates its genetic material, and then divide that genetic material into two daughter bacteria. So one organism will lead to the multiple organism. That is called as reproduction at a very simpler level. So whatever the genetical information that bacteria is carrying is eventually ended up in its daughter cells. But that is like the same thing. There is no change, not enough change. So that growth which we are experiencing, if a kid is growing, that means the kid is getting more number of cells. The plant is growing, it is dividing and growing. And then we have this thing. Oh my God, we have this thing. This is the wonderful thing. We will study about that stuff. This is called DNA. This is actually uninstalled version of life within our body, and that is controlling the life. So every living thing has the DNA, whether it is a one-cell organism, it's a two-cell organism, it's prokaryote, it's eukaryote, it's simpler, it's complicated, it's plants, it's fungus, in whatever the life form, it carries the same genetical material, in different ways. So we are humans because we are carrying the same genetical material in different amounts and in different sequence. A monkey is a monkey because it is carrying the same genetic material in different combinations in different amount. A plant is a plant because it is carrying the same genetic material in different amount and different composition. So that small difference make us a different. Imagine कर मैं तुझे एक मजे की बात, आप लोगों को मजे, humans के पास जो DNA होता है, humans के पास जो जीन, और जो chimps के पास होता है, chimps कहते हैं monkeys को, chimps के पास, इनके दरमियान में 98, if I able to write perfect, 98.6% similarity होती है. Oh my God. So we and chimps have 98.6% similarity in our DNA. हम इंसान है सिर्फ 1.4% के डिफरेंस से. वैसे कुछ तो इंसानों का DNA भी रखते हैं लेकिन वो इंसान नहीं होते. This small difference make all the things. Like let me give you one more example. Banana. I am 60% banana genetically. Same thing. These small differences make huge at the organism level, and that make us different. But important thing is that the genetical material, it's same. And I can tell you, this is the most unique thing present on the planet Earth. अगर बाहर से कोई alien आएंगे ना, वो हमारे सोने में interested नहीं होंगे, because the sona is present everywhere in the universe. They will not be interested in aluminum, in other precious metals. They will be interested in this. Oh my God, DNA, which we are carrying, and how the small difference make different organisms. Okay, I will talk more on the DNA when it comes. I'm just introducing all these important things. So actually life starts from atoms. Look at that, the small thing, the atoms. Atoms makes molecules. These molecules makes the cells make the tissues makes organ, and then these organs make the body systems like digestive system, urinary system, and that these systems make a complete organism. The organisms live together to make a population. Different populations live together to make a community, and different communities makes ecosystem, and different ecosystem is making our planet Earth. So it's everything is connecting. So those people who are like वो जो climate change वाले हैं, जो influencers हैं, जो लोगों को influence करना चाहते हैं, they should know, they should propagate that stuff, that everything is connected in this way. If you make a disturbance somewhere at a cellular level, it will eventually going to affect our ecosystem as well as to our climate as well. So that's the same thing. So atoms and molecules taking us to the tissues, tissues to the organelles. These are small parts present within the cells. Organelles make cells, cells make tissues, tissues make organ system makes human.